Morning, YouTube. I'm trying to go live on different platforms in the last few days, just to see, well, honestly, just to see what works, what sticks, what's fun, what's more fun, so on. So topic of this morning, as I was sitting and walking, is management. So let me give you my waterfall of thoughts, and then tie it back to, I think, a pretty simple concept that so many people miss, myself being the number one. So yesterday, I went live actually on Instagram based on somebody asking the question. They said, I'm burned out in a technology career. What do I do? And I explained my answer to that. So this morning, I was thinking about that as I was walking. And my mind was just kind of a waterfall of thoughts. I was sitting there going, okay, burned out in technology career. What are some of the other careers that technologists might go for? And the natural thought was management, which actually for most people is a bad idea. A manager. So many people have in their mind, like, if I'm really good at something, like I'm really good at technology, Cisco, Microsoft, whatever it is, cloud, I should become a manager of that. Truth be told, managers are a different career set, a different mindset. Most of the time, the best people at technology are the worst managers. So tuck that in the feather of your cap of FYI for the future. Oh, I cut out. I'm back. Okay. So let me share with you the thought this morning. Should be fairly quick, I think. So last night, I'm thinking about SolarWinds. I'm thinking about the massive security vulnerability that was found essentially in a massive amount of large organizations, government, revealing that there's been a backdoor that people could have been exploiting for nearly a year in SolarWinds monitoring system. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, how does that happen? And so it kind of, so where I go and where my mind went is, logging, reviewing logs. And I had this thought, I'm like, I need to set up a centralized syslog system, right? For VIA, the managed service provider, we'll say is still in the process of being built with 40 some employees. So I'm like, man, we really need centralized logging. So what do? I start looking at Splunk. I start looking at a lot of the open source syslog systems. Before long, I'm implementing, a centralized syslog server at our data center, and it was awesome. It's 10 something at night, sitting in bed with a laptop deploying a syslog server, and I'm halfway through deploying it, and I thought to myself, who's going to manage this thing? Who's going to be reviewing the logs on a regular basis? Who's I froze right there halfway through deploying this ISO for a new logging server, and I thought, if I roll this thing out, I'm probably gonna forget about it in. Oh, am I cutting out? My video is freezing. Sorry if it is. I must be in a bad spot, but hopefully you guys can still hear me. Oh, okay. So I think I'm back. So let me get to the point. It doesn't matter what technology you deploy, whether it would be great. Thank you, Joshua. Whether it would be a syslog server, a monitoring system, a whatever it is, like. That's the topic of this live stream. It's all about the management of it, and this is where I tie it back to how I started this whole thing. There's a massive value in somebody who can create the systems and the process for keeping everything checked, for keeping that syslog server monitored. Again, going back to SolarWinds, how do you have nearly a year of vulnerability, which was probably exploited in so many ways, and we're going to probably hear for months and years to come of the exploits that happened with this SolarWinds system, and of course this comes at one of the most, we'll just say, interesting times from a technology perspective of our presidential election in the United States, where people are like, this could have been a door. Like it's like, wah. So I think to myself, and I'm like, how does something go unchecked like that for years? And it's all about the management. We as technologists, it's just like myself, and it's funny because I know this, but last night I'm sitting there rolling out a syslog server for centralized monitoring because it's a thrill. It's kind of like, yes, this will be awesome. And if I would have finished it, I actually stopped when I had this thought. If I would have finished it, I would have had a syslog server that had probably half of the devices, because I would have fell asleep, reporting their log files, and I would have been like, there it is. And then what happens? Jeremy moves on to the next thing, to like, okay, well, did that, and it's all about the management of it. The syslog server would not matter at all if there wasn't a process that every X hours, every X days, every whatever, somebody does something. Somebody reviews the log file. Somebody checks and makes sure that all the OSPF relationships are being reported as up between the routers in our data center and our system, right? All of like, if you don't have that management around it, the system doesn't matter. The technology is worthless. You know what I mean? It's a fun, cool puzzle piece that we put in at some point that doesn't get there. And I guess so. Man, it's like the waterfall of thoughts that I'm having. This is why live streams are dangerous. I'll just keep going. So many technologists focus on deploying the technology, and when it's functional, they go, "Great, job done," right? And truth be told, that's just the beginning of job done. This is why IT is so often a reactive field, is because we roll out technology and go, okay, done. And then when things go down, because it's not a managed system, we're like, what happened? IT is terrible. And that's the thing. And this goes for everything in life. When you buy a new car, when you move into a bigger house, like the thing that you often forget about is like there's management involved in all of this stuff, right? And so any IT system that you roll out, the syslog server that I was rolling out last night and froze in the middle of because I'm going, wait a sec, kudos to me. It shows that I'm growing because I would have rolled that thing out and gotten completed before I got there. But every system, it doesn't matter if it's a WAP, a router, a switch, every single piece of technology that you roll out needs management, right? So that said, that's my thought from the morning. Morning, Keith. Good to hear your name sliding across the screen. That's it. All right. How do I stop this thing?